Hello, this is Alexi George, and I'd like to share with you some thoughts from my blog, yourbarnabas.com. Limited supply and limited space are often hindrances that we're familiar with. But in the kingdom of God, He has thrown open the doors for all who'd want to enjoy the benefits of the kingdom. In the kingdom, there's no limit of supply, there's no limit of space, there's just simply no limits. Because God ordained it that way. When God says, come, enjoy, dine with me, come, have dinner with me. See, dine together implies more than just connecting with some people, or more than just acquaintance. There's friendship, there's relationship, and in some instances, a deep sense of intimacy is there. Jesus told the story of a man who invited guests to his banquet. Now, those who were invited, each one of them gave excuses. They said, sorry, I can't come. I've got this, I've got that. I've got an appointment, whatever it is, different excuses they had given. So this master who invited his guests, he was upset because he gave the invitation and it seemed like nobody wants to come. So he sent his servants out and said, look, I want you to go out and just invite those who are needy, those who are suffering, those who are sick, those who are struggling, anybody that is in need, invite them. So the servant went out and invited people from the community, and they came. But then the servant came and said to the master, "Sir, what you commanded has been done, and still there is room." That was in Luke chapter 14, verse 22. Still there is room. So the invitation was given to. The doors are wide open to anybody. Anyone who would want to come, anyone who was needy and in pain and struggling, still there is room. See, the Jewish people of Jesus' day, they had conveniently compartmentalized their relationship with people, especially the relationship with the poor, to keep them away. But with this story, Jesus literally throws down the gaps and the walls that separated them. See, then the master instructed the servant to compel them to come. He said, go out there and just compel them, because he said still there's room. Compel them to come. See, the idea was not to force them, to coerce them, or anything like that, to twist their arms, or none of that. They just needed to be convinced of the welcome. See, they could not imagine, see, the poor, the lame, the crippled, the blind, those who were in need. They couldn't imagine that a great man like this person would invite them to come have a meal with them. It just didn't register with them. The society of their time, it just doesn't connect. I mean, they just didn't do things like that. Even today, it just doesn't happen like that, does it? You connect with people of your own stature and whatever all of the social limitations that we have set, the society has set. So they just couldn't believe it. So in such a society where there was, like in Jesus' time, where there was such a huge divide between the haves and the have-nots and the lower end, and I put the term lower end in quotations, the lower end of society, I mean, they would find it hard to trust the rich and the wealthy. They find it hard to trust people like that, because they've been symbols of oppression, domination, and control for generations. And the poor have always felt that they've been taken advantage of. They felt that they just were not accepted in society. So when this wealthy man gives an invitation, those who are poor and downtrodden, they would just doubt the genuineness of the invitation. So this man has to compel them to come in. See, it's important to note also that those who were originally invited, they were just simply ignored. They were bypassed. And thus the phrase we find in Matthew 22 verse 14, many are called, but few are chosen. See, they were simply bypassed. The invitation may be for everyone, but the response may be only from a few. But the response will not be the same for everyone. When the poor were invited, even then, not everyone came. We know this because the servant said, there is still room. So the master wanted to compel them because they couldn't believe. But see, sometimes, even through the compelling, even though the master says, no, I want you to come. You're definitely invited. I want you to come and dine with me and have a relationship with me. Still, there will be people who just won't believe, who just won't trust. Why? I don't know. Definitely, there are many reasons, but they just cannot believe or trust the Master. So God says to us right now, and He says to the whole world, still there is room. Compel them. Compel them to come. So let me encourage you today, those who are around you who are needy, those who are around you who are sick, troubled, emotionally, physically, whatever their situation is, those who are broken, invite them and then compel them. Don't force them. Don't cajole them. Don't pull them. Don't push them. Don't shove them. Just invite them and tell them this is real. This Master, the Creator, the King, He wants to have a relationship with them. Invite them. Thank you. You have a great day.